Hey everybody, it's Ruby here today, and I thought that I would do a book review on The Swamp Thing by Alan Moore. Now, I promised you guys that I would do a couple more book reviews on some of Alan Moore's other works. I know that one of the most popular videos that I have on this channel is a summary of 4 of his books and movies. For anybody interested, I'll link down below. And so I've been trying to read some of his other works intermingled with some of the academic stuff that I've been having to read. So I took a chance with this one. Now, I was fairly apprehensive about this book. It is not, like, on paper it wouldn't necessarily be to my taste. It is a superhero comic. There is the Justice League. It's very gritty and horrific, and just generally not within the scope of what I generally like. But I took a chance on it because it is Alan Moore, and as far as I can tell, it is what put him on the map. In the introduction of this, they actually say that they had picked Alan Moore to be the writer in this because he had been known for other comics, but I've also read biographies by Alan Moore who said that this book was generally sort of the one that people like start to understand who Alan Moore as a person was. His name kind of became more of a household name around this time. And this is actually like DC Comics, so he had been contracted to do this and completely changed around the idea of the Swamp Thing. Something that I guess worked pretty well. So the Swamp Thing is a guy, I guess, who had fallen into a swamp during an explosion of some sort, and plants basically formed his identity and created this Swamp Thing. And so there's an issue in this where it sort of explains the science behind it, something that apparently had changed from previous issues before Alan Moore. And so he has to deal with his own identity of who he is, as well as nature, because that happens, and also battling with other creatures of this caliber, and also creatures of nightmarish qualities and demons and all sorts of fun stuff. It was a pleasant surprise. I have to say that the storytelling was extremely well written. There was some great sonnets and poetry and descriptions of what it's like at nighttime, like how you sort of come into being, I guess. There were talks about nature and how humans are destroying nature and sort of the ideological things that go along with that. And it was just incredible. And the illustrations were just as great. There's some great, like, parts in this, like, just, like, gritty and, like, very 80s, but at the same time, just, like, incredible, I guess. And of course, that's not necessarily just Alan Moore, that's some of the illustrators in this as well. But I think that that is a huge component to graphic novels, is not only having something that's like poetically written, but something that is great artistically too, especially since in something like this, you kind of have to have the two coalesce. I gave it or I will be giving it a 5 out of 5 on Goodreads. Like I said, it was extremely surprising to like a book like this. I thought that even with Alan Moore that it would be something that I would kind of go, oh yeah, I read it, it was okay. And that was definitely not the case. I read it in about a day, just on the bus and stuff. And I would recommend it to anybody who's into graphic novels or is interested in graphic novels or just likes the history of Alan Moore. And I would put it on the great bookshelf of this writer. So that is everything. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, you can comment down below. If there's any other graphic novels that you'd recommend or anything by Alan Moore, feel free to recommend it to me. I still have to do Lost Girls, and there's a novel that he wrote about Northampton that I'll be getting to fairly soon. But don't quote me on when, because like I said, my schedule is a little whack. And also like or subscribe if you like these videos, and I will talk to you guys later.